What is up, metalheads? What is up? It is Heavy Metal Pokemon back after that week low. Like I said, we would have into the playoffs. So JB did lose his playoff game, so we do get that final playoff spot. And here we are. Here we go. We're facing an opponent we've faced before. We are facing Phantombass. He did win his game against Joe, so that did give him the #1 spot. So we are the #4. So we are facing Phantombass again. We got lucky last time. He did a miss gen. I think if he had that gen right, he might have had the game. So we gotta watch out for that Kartana. I believe Kartana is his kill leader this season, and it's a kill leader itself. So that's pretty crazy to think about. But let's get into our team and get in on with the match. So we do have here, Starmie, Choice Scarf with Scald, Ice Beam, Dazzling Gleam, and Psyshock. Scald for burns, really spammable once Toxapex is gone. I could spam it still to get a burn, kind of mitigate the leftover or the Black Sludge. Leftovers, whichever he opts for, most likely Black Sludge. We have Alolan Persian with Fur Coat, Max HP, Speed Outspeed anything not named Mega Aerodactyl, and then the rest in defense. A little bit of extra defense. Really good Mega Aerodactyl check, as one doesn't really exist on my team because it does get Crunch, so Claydol. And it is a Tough Cause boosted, I believe, Crunch. So, really doesn't help Claydol. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure I think the count said it was Tough Claws boosted, which is unfortunate. We have Arcanine here, a standard defensive set, mostly for that Kartana. Really good bring. Can also roast that little bug for us. So, Flamethrower, Extreme Speed, Morning Sun, and Toxic. I can Toxic the Aromatisse, I can Toxic the Pillow-Swine, Toxic the Mega Aerodactyl if that's what he chooses to go into versus me. So, next up we have Mega Pidgeot. Really good once Mega Arrow's gone. I lose to Stone Edge all the times. So, I can two-shot the Toxapex. Most likely we'll have Recover, so that's going to be a fun war if we can get rolls in our favor. We can constantly kind of chip him down. So there's that. Tapu Koko with Shukaberry takes on the Mega Aerodactyl for us, and then kind of lets us just dent everything else. And then Claydol here with Rocks, Rapid Spin, Ice Beam, and Toxic. I believe, like I said, needed something else to kind of take on Arrow just in case it didn't want like Persian to get weakened or something like that. So he brings a team of Mega Aerodactyl, Vikavolt, Aromatisse, Toxapex, Kartana, and Pillow-Swine. So let's get right into the battle, guys. So I figured he's most likely going to lead with that Pillow-Swine and just try and get a proc. So I'm going to lead with my Alolan Persian. That seems like the best lead. I can knock off whatever is sitting in front of me. If he goes Vikavolt, I can Parting Shot into Arcanine. If he leads Mega Aerodactyl, I can Parting Shot into like Coco or something, and then I kind of get a free Dazzling Gleam. So, alright, so we are challenged by Pokemon Trainer Phantombass. So like I said, we send out Cyrus, the Alolan Persian. He's going to send out Skyfall, the Mega Aerodactyl. And that's going to, scare him out because he doesn't like this matchup. He knows he cannot kill me with a Stone Edge. So he's going to go out into the Keemster here. We'll go ahead and Parting Shot this thing. Just was a little weaker here. We are going to go out into Kokohana. I wanted to click Dazzling Gleam here because I figured he would switch out into the Pillow Swine. As he does, goes into the Mini Raider. But I do click the Thunderbolt because I'm like, now in case he wants to get T-Spikes predicting that Dazzling Gleam, I'm just gonna click Thunderbolt. But he doesn't, so I click U-turn here on this turn, just in case he wants to straight up attack. He can straight up attack this, and I'll be fine. Does go for the Stealth Rocks, so could have gotten that Dazzling Gleam off into U-turn. Might have been a little bit better of a play there. He's going to withdraw here. He's going to go out into Ralph. We're going to go ahead and click Psyshock just in case he wants to go into Toxapex versus me. We do a lot because of Analytic, but we're going to switch out here. This bug is bulky. I'm going to go into my Arcanine here. I'm going to scare this thing out. I'm going to attempt to scare this thing out. He's going to go for Roost here. So we'll take Stealth Rock's damage, put our HP back here with some leftovers. The electricity disappears, that's fine. So I do make a switch here. I'm like, alright, he's gonna go something, so I'm gonna go Claydol so I can get rid of these rocks, and I can go ahead and set up my own rocks. He's gonna go ahead and withdraw. He's gonna go into the Toxapex. That's perfectly fine with me. He can try and get up Toxic Spikes. I can go ahead and just spin those away. He does withdraw. That's perfectly fine as well. Goes back out into his bug. I'm like, alright, I'll just get up my rocks here. I'll throw out a Toxic here to wear this thing down. Alright, he's going to go for a Thunderbolt, predicting a switch. I'm going to stay in though. I didn't realize Bug Buzz would do this much though, like holy cow. I'm going to go ahead and Rapid Spin. But this thing is a monster, so he goes ahead and Bug Buzzes, and that just clean takes me out, and I am gone. Okay, so Claydol's down. I mean, that's perfectly fine. We got up rocks when he spun away his, so he's going to have a hard time trying to put his rocks back up. Especially because he doesn't know if I have Taunt on Persian or not. So I'm going to go back out into this. I'm going to hope to try and scare it out again and make another play, and I'm going to double out into Tapu Koko. He goes ahead and reveals the Hidden Power Ground, either predicting me to make a switch or knows he can live a Flamethrower or Flare Blitz. So he does go for that. We do break our Shuka-Berry. That's unfortunate. He does take the Toxic Poison, and I'm like, I should be able to take this thing out with a Dazzling Gleam. I am a Tapu Koko, but I don't. So he's going to take me out with Hidden Power Ground, so that's unfortunate that I lose to an Electric Bug, my Tapu Koko. But the bug does go down to the Toxic Poison, so that's great. That's down. Alright, so we're double down here, and my best play is to go out into my Alolan Persian here. If he wants to go out into anything, I can knock off, I can Parting Shot, I can Foul Play. So, like I said, it should pressure this out, feeling that I have Taunt. He does go out into this thinking I do have the Taunt. I'm going to go straight for the knockoff because I don't want that thing's Eviolite on, because that's going to help me out later to get rid of it. So he goes into this. I'm going to go ahead and Parting Shot here. Into my Arcanine here. I can throw a Toxic off on this thing, forcing him to have to Heal Bell if he has it, or Aromatherapy, whichever one. So he's going to Thunderbolt. It's going to do not too much to me because of the -1, and we're an Arcanine. We are max defense though for the Kartana. He's going to go ahead and withdraw. Sends out the Skyfall versus me, which is a really nice play. Oops, my alarm's going off. So we missed the Toxic here, which is unfortunate. This would have played out a little bit different in the next part of this match here if we landed that Toxic. Overall, it doesn't matter in the game because the game justified me later. But he does go out and he does Mega Evolve here. He's going to go ahead and he's going to land a Stone Edge. That's going to hurt. Boop. But we're going to take get some leftover recovery. Now if he gets a crit here, I think I'm toast. But he does miss, which is good for me. So that kind of justifies. So we had the 2 misses, even Steven. He's going to go ahead and try and roost stall me here. So this is where if the Toxic would have happened, I would have been in a better spot because he wouldn't be able to sit in here and roost stall me because he'd be done after this next foul play. So would have put me in a really good spot. But instead we're going to, we're going to play this game of I'm going to pressure him because I thought he would Hone Claws expecting a parting shot, so he'd be at neutral attack but +1 accuracy, so he'd be in a really good spot with Stone Edge, especially later. But he just continually roosts and we do get a crit. Now when you're sitting here roosting like this and I'm continually attacking, what you're doing is you're building up my crit chance. So that crit, unfortunate as it was bound to happen because I'm sitting here spamming the same attack and you're spamming roosts, so eventually it's going to even out. So it's unfortunate, like I said, it's unfortunate that the crit came up that way, but because of how it's a roll, you're continually giving me opportunities for it to happen. So you should have foreseen it coming. Now I didn't know that foul play was a roll. I thought it was just straight damage, but apparently it's a roll because I was doing about 50%. I don't know if I was doing any more than that. So he's going to go into the Aromatisse here, and we'll just go ahead and parting shot. Last time you saw this cat, his name was Raj. We have changed his name to Polo. His brother's name is Marco, so we have Marco and Polo. And you see Marco in his that tree, I think. Polo, what are you doing? So he's gonna go out, so I party shot. I'm gonna go out into the Arcanine. I resist his fairy stab, which is nice. And here, I'm gonna go ahead and Morning Sun, just so I can put the cat down. So I can get back up to full. He's gonna go out into this thing. That's perfectly fine. So expecting a Scald to come out. I don't know how much is gonna. I mean, it's not gonna do much. Oh, what are you doing? You can't be jumping up here. So we're gonna go out and Starmie here, and he does go for a knockoff. So it's a really nice play. Does about half, which does a little over half, which is insane. Toxapex does have higher attack than it does special attack. So we're going to go ahead and click Psyshock here. It's going to do some damage for us. He's going to go ahead and knock off. He does get a crit. So that's unfortunate. But I think everything's evened out. He missed the Stone Edge, I missed the Toxic. He got a crit, I got a crit. So, But anyways, this allows me to come in with my Mega Pidgeot, which is perfectly fine. And I can go ahead and just spam Hurricane till my heart's desire. So we're going to go ahead and we can spam it here. So we get that nice Mega Evolution off. We get my Turkey sub in here. What are you doing? And we don't take out the Aromatisse, but that's alright. We'll take it out with one more. He's going to protect. He's going to try and stall out my Hurricanes. Which is, a very solid play. Especially because, like I said, I do about 50%-ish to Toxapex, so I can two-shot it. So he's going to have to recover stall me, and you'll see how this kind of plays out. He's going to go into the mini radar here. Perfectly fine with me. I will go ahead and U-turn here. I know I cannot take him out with a hurricane, and if he does decide to icicle crash, that's really going to hurt. I did predict him to go rocks here, but I was perfectly fine with him just going rocks here. But he does go for the icicle crash instead, which is perfectly fine. He does still land, which is great. Not that it really matters. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to knock this thing's EV light off. Quit. Damn cat. Damn, it got me good. So he goes ahead and gets up his rocks here as we knock off his EV light. Really fine with me. I'm going to go ahead and continually knock off in case he has like Scarf Kartana. He wants to go into it, or if he has, if he wants to go into double into Toxapex, I can get rid of that thing's Black Sludge. And that's going to be really good for me later, because that means he's not getting recovery. So like I said, if I get low rolled, he's not putting himself back up to full. I can kind of chip away at him each time, and he's not getting back up to full. So that's kind of my thought with just continually spamming knockoff here. Seeing that though he is going to sack this, I'm going to go ahead and click Foul Play. It should take him out from here. He does go ahead and opt for the Ice Shard to get that extra bit of damage, which is really nice. So bam, this thing is finally gone. So that means Hurricane is super spammable. Now all we have to do is just get a free switch into her to that here. But he does go out into the thingy here. We'll go ahead and Parting Shot on this. It was always my plan. Knock off, Parting Shot. To get rid of this thing. So we go ahead and Parting Shot, and then we go into the Crimson at -2. So that way, even if he does go to +1, or if he does Sword Stance here, he'll be only at neutral attack, and then I can go ahead and live this. As you see, I do take it. Polo, what are you doing? So you just go for the all-out pummeling, which is a really good play. He's on the back foot here because Mega Pidgeot is still around, and we take that pretty well. So at neutral, that could have been a roll. That could have been a roll. He's gonna go ahead and withdraw here. He knows he cannot take me out now. So glad we burned that Z move at -2. I'm gonna go ahead and Flamethrower here. Hope for a burn. That would really help me out here against this. That is not the case. I do want to keep this around just in case I'm not able to take out that Kartana. Arcanine definitely can come back in and take care of it for me. So we'll go into this here. He wants to Scald Burn me. That's perfectly fine. Wishing I had Taunt on this set, but I did opt for Play Rough for a stray Hydreigon that was running around that he chose not to bring this time, which was interesting. But so we'll go ahead and we'll click the knockoff. Boop. There we go. We got rid of that Black Sludge finally. He's going to go ahead and recover. So he's going to start wasting some of those recovers. I believe there's 16 of those things. So will you stop eating my button? You are a kitten. You are such a kitten. So we're just going to go ahead and spam knockoff until he decides to kill me. Perfectly fine. So now we go on to Turkey Sub. Hey. So we're just going to go ahead and continually spam Hurricane here. So we do get him, down in that range. We do get... not eat my buttons. Stop it. We do get the Confusion, which is nice. He does break through. He gets the recovery, so that's pretty good. So far, even Steven, just kind of spoops him a little. He does go ahead and clicks the recover. And Hurricane and clicks to recover. So like I said, it's a roll, and we're starting to not get high rolls. He's gonna go ahead and recover. And we're just getting the low rolls at the moment, which is unfortunate, but you know, it's rolls. Goes ahead and we'll click the Hurricane here. We get another confusion. Nice. Does click Scald this turn. Alright, maybe he's trying to burn me, you know, force me to have to roost or something like that. I click Hurricane here. Now here, had he clicked Recover, I would have switched out into Arcanine and just kind of spammed Flamethrower until this thing got burned. And then I could have gone back out into this and then roosted. But he did misclick there, clicking the Haze, putting me in a spot where I just spammed Hurricane, and then goes out into this, and I can just click Heat Wave, and we win our round 1 playoffs, our quarterfinals, 2-0 versus Phantombass. Great game to Tyler. He played really well. Not falling for any of my bluffs at all in the game. You know, just playing extremely well. And just until the end, I think, like I said, had he got that recover, had he clicked Recover on that Scald, like I thought he was fishing for a burn, which to me didn't seem like a bad play, but it could have been a misclick as well. But had he clicked Recover on that where he clicked Haze, I would have switched out at that point because I would have had like 8 or 9 Hurricanes left. So I wanted to just be able to go into Arcanine, spam Flamethrower, recover, Flamethrower, like I said, just Flamethrower until I get a burn. And that way I can come back out and I can finally kind of chip down the Toxapex more because of the burn and then the damage, and then he will eventually run out of recovers. So then he'll have to attack me, and I can roost off the damage that he does, Hurricane him to death, and then once the Kartana comes in, I could have Heat Waved. Forgot what I was doing. Oh, Heat Waved for the win. So it could have been gone down to a 1-0 had he not misclicked. But I think we had the game the way I was going to play it out if he clicked that Recover there. But seeing that he did click the Haze, I immediately just clicked the Hurricane. Seeing that he did mess up. Unfortunate that that's how playoffs had to go down. Tyler, you had a great season. You played well. Unfortunately, the 2 games against me, you had a misgen and a misclick, and then this game, another misclick. So we will we'll carry on. I believe we go against the winner between Josh and Brendan. So we will take them on next week. We've lost to both these coaches. Brendan has changed up his team completely, and Josh, I believe, still has the same team. So we should be ready for both matchups. We've changed our team up too since playing Brendan, so teams are going to be definitely interesting to see there. And then it's going to be a rematch versus Josh, and this will get us into the finals versus whoever wins across the board. We are hoping that Goldoa can beat the defending champion, Darude, then beat whoever the other team is, and we can meet GoldoaDragon in the finals to get our revenge from our preseason. So there's that, guys. Thank you for sticking around. Be sure to come back next week. We will have one more battle, if not 2, coming up. We have one more for sure. We're looking to grab that second one and grab the Colorado Mammal Swine their first title. So get hype for the title run be sure to note that down in the comments section down below. Guys, we have some huge announcements coming up after the end of the season. It's going to be great. I'm working on a lot of stuff here. I promise you what's going to happen after the season is going to be sad. It's going to be like this, and then boom. We got to build up that momentum, and then, but I promise you it's going to be great. Just hold on. Can stick with me here. We are growing subs every day. Not a lot, but you know, I appreciate the all 107 of you guys that are here. It means a lot, you know, seeing, you know, that I do have the 100 subs. That's a huge milestone. I think getting your first 100 is huge. So I'll leave that announcement for after, depending if we win next week or if we take an L. L has been our normal trend for this season and lately, but hopefully we can turn it around. We got a nice win here. We got a nice boostering win. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna quit rambling. It's not what you're here for. So, as always, bros, keep gaming.
You're a memory I can't lose. I hold on to you.